Hi, I'm Danny.
And I'm Si. Welcome to Business in the Brew, a podcast dedicated to all things business with the occasional cuppa.
We take a business story, theory, or something we just want to chat about and give it a dusting of our own special personality and sense of humour, combined with our experience and knowledge. We're both business graduates and have run our own businesses for many years. We can't wait for you to listen. Hello. Oh no! We talked about this morning. Winking and gunning is the reserve of creepy, creepy men. Are you a creepy, creepy man?
Absolutely not.
Right. Today I'm going to talk to you about a weird Thai drink. I know. I didn't realise this either.
Thai?
Thai. As in land.
Yeah.
It's not Thai anymore, but it came from Thailand. Anyway, so don't think, I've changed my mind, I'm going to go a different way. In 1982, there was an Austrian marketing executive, and I'm very sorry to this chap because there's no way I'm getting this right. Dietrich Mateschitz.
Have you got that in front of you?
I have got it in front of me. Do you want to try? Dietrich, I got it right.
Mateschitz.
Well, that's what I thought it said, but I didn't want to say that. So maybe we'll just call him Dietrich
Dawn
from
the
now
producer is stifling a laugh at the moment.
So we're just going to call him Dietrich.
Yeah.
So an Australian marketing executive named Dietrich flew to Thailand on a business trip. He landed exhausted and jet-lagged, and his taxi driver handed him a small bottle of a local tonic drink. Again, pronunciation. Krating Daeng?
Go on, let me have a look.
It's Thai, remember?
It looks like it.
Yeah. Well, we're going to go Krating Daeng, which translates from Thai as, can you guess?
Not Red Bull.
Yeah, that's right. It translates from Thai to Red Bull. He perked up immediately, and something in his brain clicked. He spent the next 3 years being told by every marketing expert, focus group and distributor he approached that his idea would never work. The can was too small, the taste was too medicinal, the price was too high, and energy drinks do not exist as a category. Because in 1982 they didn't.
Right.
There's no market for it. He launched it anyway, and today Red Bull sells 12 billion cans a year in over 175 countries and is worth somewhere in the region of £15 billion.
And the difference between a million and a billion
is a zero.
An awful lot. Yes.
It is a lot, yeah. So before Dietrich, the Thai drink was already a massive success in Thailand. It had been created in the 1970s, but oh my god, there's another name, by Chalio Udvidha. Why not?
Yep.
A pharmacist and businessman who spotted a market among Thailand's working classes, so your truck drivers, your factory workers, your farmers, for basically an affordable energy tonic. So the drink contained caffeine, taurine, B vitamins, and a large amount of sugar.
Yeah. And taurine is a form of caffeine, I think.
Yes. So it worked in a sort of basic physiological sense.
Taurine, Taurus, hence bull.
Correct. Anyway.
Yeah.
By the late 1970s, it was the best-selling soft drink in Thailand, ahead of Coke and Pepsi. It was cheap, it was functional, it had zero pretension. It was the raw material that Dietrich was working with.
Amazing.
So he'd had it.
I know none of this.
It's fascinating, isn't it? I didn't know this either. I don't know why anyone would have thought invented it, but anyway. So the Dietrich approached the pharmacist and businessman, whose name I can't pronounce, UDVR, with a proposal. He would license the formula, reformulate it for Western tastes, and take it global. They would form a 50-50 split company, which is Red Bull GmbH, with each putting in around $500,000. A small additional stake went to Udovia's son.
Right.
So he had like 51 and Dietrich had 49. The reformulation was significant. So the original was thicker, sweeter and uncarbonated, which, by the way, Red Bull's gross anyway.
Yeah.
But to make it thicker, sweeter and
yeah,
my teeth are aching thinking about it.
It would be very much like medicine then.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, like a syrupy, a Calpol almost. Yeah. So Dietrich worked with food scientists to make it lighter, add carbonation and tone down the sweetness for European palates. Amazing. The iconic slim blue and silver can was designed specifically to look nothing like existing soft drinks and it was the same size as a Red Stripe
Shelf
beer can.
standout.
Yeah. It's exactly the same size as a Red Stripe beer can. So deliberate differentiation from the start.
Amazing.
Austrian food regulators spent years deliberating whether the drink was safe, because at the time taurine was a novel ingredient, and I had to Google that because I didn't really understand what that meant, but it basically means it's not used for human consumption to any specific degree before May 1997.
Wow.
So bits of it were used, but it wasn't really used to any significant degree. Germany banned it.
Wait. If it wasn't used for human consumption, what was it used for?
Okay, well, I didn't look into that. Just says limited human consumption. Maybe we feed it to dogs or something to make them crazy. Germany banned Red Bull outright for years, and the ban lasted until 2000. France banned it until 2008, citing health concerns. Denmark banned it. Norway restricted it to pharmacy sales only. Like in the UK, we're just like, nah, shove it in boots, it'll be fine. Despite this, Dietrich launched in Austria in 1987, and sales were slow. He and Udivia, Thailand man, lost money for the first 3 years. His advisors suggested cutting losses, and he absolutely refused. He had a thesis about the marketing, and he wanted to test it fully before giving up. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh, my paper's very noisy. Noisy paper. So, Dietrich's insight was that you don't sell an energy drink by advertising an energy drink. You sell energy, confidence, peak performance, and the lifestyle of people who operate on the edge. So very much like selling the benefits rather than the features.
No, absolutely right. Yeah. There's a whole. They're coming into it from a completely different angle, which I
at the time in the 80s, absolutely.
Hadn't been done before. Yeah.
So rather than traditional forms of advertising, he began sponsoring extreme sports that were either amateur or ignored by mainstream sponsors: motocross, windsurfing, cliff diving, formula racing,
mountain biking.
And then he created events that just didn't exist. So the Red Bull Air Race, Red Bull Crashed Ice, and Red Bull Rampage. They sound horrendous. I don't know what they are. There seems like there might be a lot of blood in those. He didn't just put a logo on someone else's event. He literally created the event so that the logo was intrinsic to the actual sport, the actual thing. He gave away products at universities and music venues. He built a grassroots adoption amongst 18 to 25-year-olds before any mainstream advertising at all. By the time Red Bull ran conventional TV advertising, it already had such powerful word of mouth. It was almost incidental to the brand's growth rather than necessary.
Amazing.
So Red Bull entered Formula One as a sponsor before eventually purchasing the, I can never say it, Jaguar, the car.
Jaguar the car. Yeah.
Jaguar. Okay. Racing team in 2004 for $1 and renaming it Red Bull Racing. Then they added a second team, which is Toro Rosso, which is now AlphaTauri.
Toro Rosso, Red Bull.
Correct.
Brilliant.
When AlphaTaurian is now VCARB. Sexy. In 2005, and they then proceeded to dominate the sport. 4 consecutive constructors and drivers' championships from 2010 to 2013 with Sebastian Vettel, and then another era of dominance from 2022 with Max Verstappen. So F1, I can say Verstappen really easily. Apparently I can't say anything else in this document.
You've been practicing that one.
No, I like Formula One. Shut up. Yes, I sit at home in the mirror going, Verstappen. Can we say it properly? Good. F1 gives Red Bull something no other platform can: sustained global premium visibility for 24 race weekends a year, associated with the most technically sophisticated, fast and expensive sport in the world. It's just amazing. And then there's some really weird brand activation stuff which just amused me. On October the 14th, 2012, there's another name. Felix Baumgartner stood in a capsule 39 kilometres above the Earth's surface and jumped. He broke the speed of sound, the first person to do so in freefall. He set 4 world records, 8 million people watched live on YouTube, and the event was called Mission Red Bull Stratos.
Fantastic. I remember seeing that.
All capitalised as well, which is awful. Every piece of footage, every record, every headline referenced Red Bull. It's estimated to have cost around $50 to $65 million. The earned media value, TV coverage, press coverage, blah, 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 was estimated at several billion. So that return on investment is huge. It remains the single most efficient brand activation in advertising history.
Good grief.
And crucially, it was entirely consistent with everything Red Bull had ever done. It wasn't unusual, it wasn't a curveball for them, it was a person doing something extraordinary on the edge, and that's what they were all about. So Dietrich died in October 2022, aged 78. At the time, he held 49% of Red Bull GmbH and had resisted every approach to list the company publicly or sell it. He was famous for his secrecy. Red Bull never published audited accounts, and at his death, his net worth was estimated at approximately 27 billion, making him Austria's wealthiest person.
Yeah.
The question of succession and whether Red Bull can maintain its culture and brand discipline without him is genuinely still open now. So the Udivia family, who hold the remaining 51%, have full influence, and so far their performance has been unaffected, but the product pipeline and brand decisions under new leadership will be really interesting because at the end of the day, the 51% was held by people who, yes, invented it, but not what it is today. They didn't have this vision for the marketing. They didn't have this on-the-edge thing. They didn't get it to where it is, so it'll be really interesting to see if it stagnates.
But at its lofty position, all they have to do is just maintain market share through doing what they're doing at the moment. It's almost as if nothing can come near it.
Well, that's not true necessarily, is it? Because other players will come into the market.
I said almost as if, because whatever they're doing right.
Yeah, and it'll just be really interesting to see what happens next. I mean, are they going to sell that 49%? Do they... I just don't know. I think it's really interesting. And now I'm fascinated. I'm going to spend all my time watching Red Bull.
Did you get any inkling of any skeletons in closets? No,
literally none. It literally just seemed to be an absolute stellar story of... I mean, he invested. It's not like it was guerrilla marketing. I wouldn't say he did it cheaply or anything. But he did it in such an intentional, unusual way for the period of time that it's just absolutely flowing.
We just knew how to get the influencing right. In fact, that the influencing, the sports, the title, the extreme sports, all of that done way before social media came along, which can only have added to that success.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, it's just, I mean, the energy drink market has grown obviously since then.
Yeah.
And you get other brands
fragmented,
like you've got Monster Energy. Apparently they're the anti-Red Bull. I did not realise. I mean, I just thought they were all... I don't really care. But their approach is the complete polar opposite. So bigger can, lower price and more extreme branding. And it's all about extreme because it's very much a US market. Whereas Red Bull obviously started in Europe.
It's made me think because I do have, even though I drink a lot of coffee, I do have a little sensitivity to really strong caffeine drinks.
Yeah, and
I discovered this when I had the company I was working for were doing some work for Jolt Cola. Jolt Cola is named as the cola that got Microsoft through building, I think it was the Windows program. Their programmers literally didn't sleep. They were drinking Jolt Cola, which is triple strength caffeine cola. Yeah.
Oh, that's making me feel sick.
And we had a bunch of it arrive at the office. So I went and got a bottle out of the fridge thinking I'm going to have to give this a go. I had half the bottle and then had the first and one and only migraine I've ever had in my life. I was seeing flashing lights, nausea, kind of dizziness and all sorts of stuff. I had to go home for the rest of the day.
And it's because it's interesting because a lot of people question whether Red Bull's good for you. And... it is and it isn't. In moderation and a healthy adult, it's broadly safe.
Yeah, I've resorted to it when I've been on long journeys and I've been feeling a little bit fatigued at the wheel. Yeah. And actually, that's got me through the journey.
The caffeine in one can is 80 milligrams, which is equivalent to a cup of coffee. Well, depending on how strong your coffee is, but it isn't that much. The taurine is naturally occurring in the body, but the concern is primarily the volume of consumption and the usage of it. So multiple cans a day ain't never going to be good for you, the same way that multiple cups of coffee isn't going to be good for you. But also mixing it with things like alcohol or use by children or use by people with heart conditions, that's not sensible. Yeah. So broadly, yes, it is safe, but it's like the same with anything else.
Well, it would have had a whole heap of problems getting its promotion if it had been.
Well, I mean, the WHO, the World Health Organization, has still flagged concerns about energy drinks generally, but specifically mixed with alcohol, because that's a lot of stimulant. That's a lot of stimulant, all in one go.
It certainly is. I've had a few of those.
I know. When I used to be at uni, they used to sell vodka and Red Bull in a pint glass for £1, and it was free pour. Free pour.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
I used to have hollow legs. I can't drink that much anymore, and I certainly wouldn't touch Red Bull. Oh, good Lord. So, yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. And there was the other thing that just I glanced on because it was interesting. Dietrich, the reason he never sold or listed the company very rarely talked about. He was a very private man, but he said that he was afraid that public shareholders would prioritise short-term profit over long-term brand investment, specifically the sport and content commitments that make Red Bull what it is. Because at the end of the day, they are expensive investments, like F1. That is an expensive long-term investment. It's worked for them, but you can understand how a shareholder group would be a bit like, is that the best investment? But I just think it's fascinating.
It is.
And I never knew any of that.
That sounds like wise control and what's the word? Stewardship. Yeah.
But imagine having that amount of foresight in 1987 when you had a drink from a taxi driver in Thailand. You're like, yeah, I'm going to take over the world with this Calpol-esque caffeine beverage. That is some foresight there. Sometimes people are they just see something.
I wonder if that's still going in Thailand.
Probably. I don't know. I might Google it. Not right now, we're talking. That would be rude if I just went quiet for 5 minutes while I Googled.
Yeah. Right. Fab.
Yeah.
What an amazing story.
Should we go and have a
Never
ripple?
thought to scratch beneath the skin on that one. Yeah.
No, I was going to start with, what would you think if I told you red and blue? And then I thought that's the most ridiculous way to start a podcast ever, because that could be literally anything. So I've given away the secrets before I started, so that's fine. Anyway, come again soon.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thanks for supporting us by downloading and listening to this episode.
And a massive thank you also to Dolly, Emily, Nat and Lewis and the BTD Studios for all your expertise in bringing our podcasting dream to reality.
We'd love it if you commented on this episode, as we'd really like to know what you think and what you might like us to cover in future episodes.
And we'll see you on the next one.